morning. It is Thursday, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. I was able to wake up a little bit later today because my 6 a.m. canceled. So I always tell everybody they got to give me a 24-hour notice so that way I could make adjustments to my schedule if I can. And it worked out because I didn't have to get up at 1 in the morning. I slept in a little bit. I ate, got some work done before I left home, and I'll train my legs at 6 a.m. Excuse me, instead of 2 a.m. Because I'm not gonna lie, I get a little tired. I get wore out, so I gotta rest sometimes when I need it and I feel it. But that's like the beautiful thing about having most of your schedule planned out, like the day before. Even something as small as having your clothes out. Like I already have my clothes folded and in the bathroom on the sink. So I pretty much already know what I'm gonna wear. Just I don't know. I have a routine, and that's something that I picked up in prison because me and my cellmate lived in such close quarters that one of us had to get up first and do everything that he had to do. And then once the doors pop open, the second guy gets out of bed and starts doing his thing. And it's just being, I guess you could say, effective with time management was something big in prison. Because, you have those controlled movements where you have 5 minutes to get to library, yard, wherever it is that you're going, and that's it. After that move is done, you have to wait to the next one. Sometimes it's every hour, sometimes it's every 2 hours. So you learn to just be aware of your time, even though you're not supposed to be looking at time is based a lot in prison and how you move and what you do. So I adjusted on my schedule. I'll be doing legs at 6. I was able to get some food in me, and I'll be a little bit with some energy by the time I get to do my legs. Today's Thursday, so we go to the women's prison to do the 2 classes. Yesterday I had a really big meeting with the head people of programs here in Arizona, like the whole Department of Corrections. I went to their main office in downtown Phoenix. And I had a meeting with them about my program. The personal training one it stands by its own because I use NFPT is a personal training class that works with inmates in prison to get their personal training license to be personal trainers. So they teach you diet, they teach you workouts, they teach you everything. Pretty much you could go from not knowing nothing to becoming a personal trainer. So I teach that class, but they get certified through them. I don't make no money from them. I don't nothing. I just it saved my life, so I'm teaching these guys and women how to become personal trainers, how to just learn about fitness, everything that has to do about fitness, especially right now in a more modern time, because you gotta understand a lot of these people have been gone 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years. So helping them catch up on social media, new trends of working out, new diets, blah blah blah, stuff like that, and helping them get that license. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool because I got to see it firsthand when I did it and how much it changed my life when I came home and I was able to become a personal trainer and build people, because it also built me. It also helped me a lot because I started believing in myself and everything started to change, and then God happened. So look, the main thing is this. Okay, I get it. I get to go in there and spend time with them and show them what God has done in my life. The way I act, the way I talk, the way I treat them, the way I show up when no one else does. Yeah. That's the main thing. So yeah, so the personal training one is a whole different one, because what I'm trying to do is even help them when they're coming home to get jobs as personal trainers with my social media platform. And I know most of the people here in Phoenix from most of the gyms, so just trying to establish them and guide them in the right way, something that I didn't have when I first came home. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build like a community, I guess you could say, all over the world, and it has to do with faith, wrong, strong, and fitness. Just that's what I'm trying to do. I feel it in my heart that helping these guys and these women, come home and learn to keep a job that'll make them happy and just change them, will, help them stay out and learn to be out, because that was my biggest thing. I couldn't stay out. I was going back every so often. So yesterday, the meeting, I I wake up in the mornings with like, I already prayed. I cried right now on my way here, because I'm grateful for everything that's happening. But I wake up with a lot of energy. So in the morning, I'm like the Tasmanian devil. I come in here. But the meeting I had yesterday, was the head program people. This is the programs that they have established in the DOC, Department of Corrections of Arizona, for all the inmates that are getting ready to come home. It's really big news. I'm gonna be going to Lewis next month, I believe, and start doing the personal training class there. But I spoke to them about the program that I created, the USP program, because I think they would benefit a lot. It comes with a journal, a workbook. It comes with videos, questions that it helps you to start thinking about things that you've really never thought about before. And that's what I tell people. I didn't know how to stay out because I didn't have the tools or the resources. So like now that I'm officially off of paper for the first time in my life, now that I've learned to stay out and be out and be part of society, like there was a lot of aspects I had to fix about my life that I had picked up on the streets. And being alone was one of them. Taking care of my body was another. I would only train like an animal when I would be in prison. Yeah, that it was a 50-50. Yeah, but once I hit the streets and I would start making money, I didn't take care of my body. I would get overweight. It wasn't good. Sleep. I had to learn to sleep out here. Believe it or not, sleep was better in prison. Maybe the closed doors, maybe the I don't know. It was just better in there. I slept, so I had to teach myself to sleep out here, to learn to do certain things that I knew would affect me. If I drank caffeine too late in the day, I knew I wasn't gonna be. So like all these steps that I had to learn to be able to sleep, and and I mean the biggest one out of all of them really is when I started my walk, and I learned to forgive, because when I got on my knees, it completely changed my life. Completely. After that, everything started like aligning. everything started falling into place. And it's crazy because the first lesson on my program is about learning to be alone, right? But it was the very last lesson I had to learn when me and my wife split up, that we were about to get divorced and everything. I had to learn to be by myself and not like want to sleep around and not want to have somebody in the house just to have company, stuff like that. Like I really had to learn to be by myself, but it was nice to see the growth in me, like even like to see it in the mirror, like just being different, not wanting to go get drunk, just controlling my emotions, being more disciplined about what I was doing, and taking care of myself. So my program that I created is based on all those factors. And there's questions, there's videos. It's something that I've been feeling in my heart that I needed to do, and I've been working on this for the past 6 years since I came home. I was already, working on it as I was in prison, trying to create it, something like you could say a blueprint to just trying to learn to get better. But it was pieces that I had to adapt and put into it as I lived in transition and got better and healed. That's that's when I was like, okay, so now it's ready. Because I even tell you like what books to read that I read in prison, but they didn't make sense until now. Like I had to reread them again, and now they make sense. And we do that a lot. A lot of people that have been in prison or are in prison, we read all these books because we wanna like portray ourselves as like the smart gangster in there, because that's what most gang members or drug dealers or criminals go. They go in there and they kind of just, that's the way to look better in there. Like someone that got their stuff together, but they're still hanging out with the gang and everything. They're just educated. Now they're using big words. They know how to talk. So in there, it's like, oh wow, and it's because it's a bunch of kids trapped in grown men's bodies, and that's how I was most of my life. That's what it was for me. So yeah, the program, they're gonna let me use that program for the Department of Corrections, and they'll be able to get me stats on it, because obviously this is like second chance. These are like programs where they're gonna keep tell on these guys for 6 months, a year, blah blah blah. So they're gonna be able to see if this is really working or not. So that's really big news. God put this in my heart, like a couple years. The program was already in my heart, but how I was gonna try and make this work for like prison tablets and stuff like that, God put it in my heart recently, and it happened so fast, man. I was like, because remember, guys, we are still getting we're still getting like, I got all our legal paperwork done for us to become a nonprofit, 41 whatever that's called, C3 or something, to be able to get donations. There's actually an organization here in Phoenix that wanted to donate to what we're doing, and it's the Wrong Strong Ministry, but all that costs money. So, and we've been self-funded. Me and my wife have been self-funding this for a minute now. So it's been a little hard, and then it started to grow so fast that it's yeah. But I know, I told the brothers yesterday, God is opening up these doors for a reason, and that means that He will provide. And yesterday when I had that meeting, the the gentleman said that I didn't have to like pay nobody for the copies no more, because we have to make copies for the books every time a class graduates, and it's about $800 whether we copy the books or buy a new one for each single one. Now, what I'm going to try and do is talk to the school about getting them in bulk and just see if they can help me out, because obviously the inmates can't afford it. So, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited that they are gonna what is it called, white card me, where I'm able to walk in as a staff, like straight in. There's no having to check in or sign my name, none of that stuff. Like, I walk straight in, and I get to spend time with these guys. I get to spend time with these women. With the women, I take my wife, because my wife is the one that really connects with them, and really, she just, I stepped back from that one, and and I know that God put her there, obviously with me. I'm supposed to be there with her, but it's her moment to shine, not mine. So, yeah, I step back and just kind of like, I'll make jokes here and there, but she pretty much runs that class and teaches it really well. The women are losing weight. They're learning to eat. They're motivated, and like I said, most of anything, they get to see what Jesus has done in our lives, what Jesus has done in my life. It's loving on them, fellowship, showing them that there is someone that cares, pretty much. A lot of those classes and programs get started and the people stop coming. I'm gonna be straight out. I'm gonna be real. Like, they stop coming. So that's always a letdown or a waste of time. That's the way we look at it. It's funny because, like, when I got my GD in there, they told me that I couldn't get it. They told me that I couldn't get it in 2 weeks, because since, like, I had no education, I just couldn't get it. So I said, give me that book. And I studied my ass off for those 2 weeks. And I felt pretty good about it. I was like, I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass it. And I went to go speak to one of the OGs that was, in the prison, and highly educated guy, been studying for 20 years. I asked him, hey, so I'm worried about the last part of the GED, where you have to write, like, I forgot what it's called. You have to write about something at the end, and it's in 3 paragraphs. And I was like, because I don't know how to spell that good. My grammar and punctuation is really bad, like 3rd grade. So he explained to me that you learn to take tests. So, he was explaining to me how they don't grade the spelling or the punctuation. What they grade is the format, the paragraphs. There had to be an opener, there had to be a middle, and there had to be an end. And he explained that to me. I was able to pass the test. Obviously, I didn't know right away. I actually took the test, and I ended up going home the next day. They released me. I was in a Douglas prison right at the border. The flag was right there. I walked over to the border and got into one of the white vans, and came to Phoenix. But I got released, and I didn't know, and in my head, I was like, I didn't pass, but deep down inside, I mean, I cared. I was thinking about it, and it was pretty cool. One of the homies from in there called me the next day just to tell me that I had passed. No. Like 2 days later, that I had passed and got my GED. And yeah. But even with all those, because I have a lot of certificates that I got in prison, but even with all that, I still didn't know how to live. I didn't know how to have life experiences, life emotions, because I would be in and out of prison, and I was so, you could say, from all my childhood, damaged without knowing structure, knowing what a healthy relationship even looked like, was affecting me a lot. I didn't know how to be out. I didn't know how to stay out. So I'm just really grateful that I get to go in there and teach these guys and show them most of all that, like, change is possible. It is, and it's about knowing the truth. It's about educating yourself, like, and learning skills, because it's what it is. It's not. I believe we live in a very different world where we are so advanced now with technology that education is out there. Like, if you want to be a lawyer, you can watch YouTube videos on how to become a lawyer. If you want to become a welder, there's YouTube videos. Like, that's when I came home. That's what I did. I watched videos on how to start my YouTube channel. I watched videos on how to, speak when I'm doing like public speaking, how to control the floor, how to open, how to close. I watched videos and I learned. Some people learn reading. Some people learn, visually. Some people learn listening. I have to see it. But, all that was really nothing until I learned how to be out here, how to control my emotions, how to function in society as a member of society, not a hooligan. So it's very different, but very normal now to me. Very peaceful. Like I said, I'm not in a hurry. I've learned to live life because I have Jesus Christ. That's like, I put God first in everything that I do. As soon as my chanclas hit the floor in the morning, I put my head down and I'm just like, man, thank you. Thank you for just another day. Because I told you guys, I love what I do. I love coming to the gym. I love working out. I love training. Like I said, I like doing it. I wake up and I'm grateful that I'm not in prison. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful that I'm learning to live. My kids are coming back into my life. I'm learning to save my bank account. Like, I'm learning all these things that I guess most people would think are small, but they have been like key moments in my life to learn to be home and stay out. And that's why my ministry, my work is so important, because I have to go back in there. I have to. You guys know that 82% of people that get out end up going back with bigger sentences. I mean, a lot of these women that are in there that we see today have been down 10, 15, 12 years. Some of them are getting ready to come home. Some of them are not coming home. What's her name is there at the prison? Jody Arias. I don't know her last name, but she said hi to me last week. She works at the library. She killed her boyfriend. I think something like that. It was big on the news. But you know, some of them are not coming home. But I tell the girls that are not coming home, look, you're gonna make some of the biggest impacts in here, believe it or not, because you're gonna be telling those young girls to not come back. Because I remember the OGs that told me and guided me. Yeah, did I remember them back then? No, but it's a seed that it's not your job to water. It's a seed that it's your job just to plant. Because we are still used even at our worst times. I know it sounds cliche, but it is the way that God works. You know, and we just don't realize how powerful he is until we completely surrender. That's the thing, is that we have a problem with that. And I've learned to kind of just surrender it, you know, just be me. I'm not perfect. I have lots of faults, and I slip here and there, but the thing that I love about myself now is that I feel guilt. I feel I don't, it bothers me, and since it bothers me, I do what I have to do to correct it so it doesn't bother me again. And also, I don't let the guilt sit in there and grow to the point where it would make me, you know, because that's what it was before. You know, I had so much guilt, so much remorse that, like, I was constantly drinking to go to sleep. I was doing drugs. I was from relationship to relationship. Like, I was in constant, like, just looking for fulfillment in any kind of way. Even spending, you know, 18-hour days at work. But learning to live, learning to come home, learning to stay out, learning the first 3 to 6 months are the most crucial ones. Then it's after every year. Every year. We have more prisons here in the United States than we do schools. You know, when I was in the prison system, that I went through all the private prisons, you know. They have a lot of private prisons here in Arizona, and Florence, and Eloy. A lot of private prisons that are making money from inmates. That means cattle. So, and like I said, a lot of these guys and women are from the streets, are from how I grew up, and they're not educated. They have traumas. They have questions. They're confused. They're hurt. They're kids and grown people bodies with tattoos. Scary, but no, kids at heart. Will they stab you? Yes, they will. But kids hit you too. Remember that. My work's important. So I'm gonna put the link in the description for my GoFundMe if you guys want to donate and help. Thank you. Anything helps. Yeah. You know, I was completely going somewhere else with the video today, and it went that way. I'm happy it did, because I got to share about all the doors being open, and what's about to happen is that a lot of these people will come home with some tools that they didn't have before, and they probably didn't think that they needed as they came home, like sleep and working out and healing and all that stuff. Like, so it's pretty cool to see what God is doing with everything, and how fast everything is happening, because I told you guys that this is my last year training in person. I'm going to make the switch to online completely and really focus on my nonprofit with the prison work, because I want to go. I have it in my heart that I need to go first to every single prison I was in too. Like, I need to go back home to Illinois and also do this program. I need to go to Florida. I need to go to Texas. I need to go back to Cali. It's places that the people resonated, like, just they really like took care of me, and I just feel that I need to go back. I feel it. And everybody was different. Everybody was different, from the Florida and Alabama cats to the Texas guys to like California. Everybody was different. But it was an experience that I tell people. I have a lot of friends all over the United States and all over the world, really. But I have friends that were so different. I would have never thought I would be friends with them, and because people get surprised, I tell them I have Haitian friends, I have Jamaican friends, I have friends in Germany, and it's all been from the prison system. It's just like educated people out here have, LinkedIn. We have DOC. all our numbers. Believe it or not, what's crazy is that, in prison, especially in the feds, somebody will travel. They'll get beat up in California, right? So what the feds will do is that they'll move them all the way to the other side, all the way to Atlanta, and they'll put them over there on a yard. And that person will be thinking that they're safe. Like, they'll be like, yeah, I'm all the way over here, blah, blah, blah. But with the feds is that they travel everywhere. So there's a network of kites and communication throughout the whole United States and all the penitentiaries. I don't care, from the highest level to the lowest level. It's connected. So it is bigger than, even Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And this has been happening way before social media. So I made a lot of connections, a lot of friends in there. So, the best part, like I said, the best part of all this, and you have to see the funniest part in all this, is that I would have never thought I would be going willingly back to prison from the one place where I used to run from every time they released me. Like, every time. It was like, run for it. As soon as I hit that gate. So, yeah. Hey, my name's JC. I am Wrong to Strong. Don't judge nobody. Stay in your lane. Live savage. And remember, live for him. Live for him.